Hey guys, what is up? My name is Landon and welcome to the Jersey Zone. So for this video, I'm going to be looking at some of the new upgraded crests for this upcoming NHL season. Now, if you guys don't know, Adidas is changing their jersey material for this upcoming season. They're calling it Prime Green. I believe they've used it in the past as well, or at least something very, very similar with their 2019 All-Star game. And in terms of like the feel of the jersey, at least with me feeling like this jersey here and those 2019 All-Star jerseys, they feel very, very similar. I really don't see like a difference in between like the actual feel of the jerseys. The only thing that's different is with these Prime Green jerseys, they're just supposed to be a little bit more eco-friendly. I believe they're like 50% recycled material or something like that. So that's good. That's nice. But the thing that I wanted to look at is with this new material, they're also going to be adding something that they call dimensional embroidery, which is basically just adding like a little bit of a 3D effect to every single team's logo. Now, that being said, with some of these teams, the changes in between the old logo and the new logo are like so minimal, you really wouldn't notice unless you're actively comparing the two. So for this video, I'm not going to be looking at every single team's new logo because, like I said, some are just like so minimal changes. For example, Boston, the yellow outline of the B, that is raised up, and that's the only difference, and it's like very, very minimal. With the Panthers, for example, as well, they just have a little bit of an outline on that Panther now, just at the top part, and that is also raised up as well. So those are like minimal changes that I'm probably not going to add in this video here, but I do have a list of, I believe it's 18 teams here, so I'm going to go through this list. I'm going to show you guys a picture of the old jersey and the new jersey as well. And with most of this information, I did get it from sportslogo.com, and I actually got pretty lucky that they uploaded this article yesterday because I've been trying to do this video for a couple of days now. The only reason that I haven't done it quite yet is because I've been having trouble finding like new pictures or good pictures of these new logos and old logos as well. So with this article here, it's made it a little bit easier for me to find better pictures. And with some of these teams as well, by the way, I haven't even found like a change at all for some of these jerseys just because I can't find a picture of like the newer jersey at all. I haven't really been able to find one. I think like with like Columbus and Colorado, like teams like those, I haven't found a picture of their new updated logo, so I don't know how drastically those logos have changed. But anyways, with all that aside, like I said, a lot of this information, or at least some of this information, is coming from that sportslogo.com, so check them out in the description down below. I'll link right to their article. Okay, so let's start off with the Buffalo Sabres here. Now with this one here, this is just me looking at two different pictures. One of the old one, this picture is from Ben 8 Sports, and one of the new one, and this is from the Adidas website. Now the only difference that I personally see is with this older picture, the hilt of the saber looks like it's kind of embroidered outwards a little bit there. It's a little bit more of its own thing, but with this new picture here, it looks like it's more like part of the crest itself, and I think that's the only difference with this new Sabres crest. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on this information because I just looked at an older picture and then a newer picture, and that's kind of what I got out of it, so I hope that's correct there, but that's what it looks like, at least to me, which is a little bit strange because with most of these new jerseys and most of these new logos, I should say, it looks like a lot of them are trying to push for more like of a 3D effect, and with this one here, I feel like it's kind of like reversing that a little bit, so I don't know, I found that a little bit strange. Not that I think it looks bad or anything like that, I just thought it looked a little bit strange with the dimensional embroidery that Adidas is pushing with these jerseys. Now moving on, we have the Calgary Flames, and this was the first one that I personally saw with these new crests. I saw it like a few months ago. I kind of quote tweeted it on my Twitter, and at the time, I really wasn't a huge fan of it, and I'll be honest, I'm still not a huge fan of this change. I kind of understand like what they're trying to do, but for me, it just looks like the flame is like old and it has wrinkles and everything like that. That's how at least I see it, so I'm not the biggest fan of this change here, but I still don't mind it. I understand like what they were trying to do here, but for me, I just don't think it looks great. Now moving on to the Carolina Hurricanes, and with this logo here, once again, I kind of just compared two pictures from the Adidas Canada website. The older one, it looks like it's just kind of like one big crest that's sewn on individually and it's already made and everything like that. But with this new crest here, it looks like there's individual patches actually sewn on, like the red parts and the black parts are individually sewn on, and I think that looks really nice actually. I don't think it really looks a little bit more 3D, but I do think it looks a lot nicer, and I like this change for the Hurricanes. So moving on to the Dallas Stars here, once again, just a little bit of a minor change. They basically just made the black outline of that Stars logo raised up a little bit, and it looks like it's a different material as well. At least just in my eyes, it looks a little bit different. But with that black outline basically stacking on top of the silver part of the jersey there, I think it looks fairly nice because it does give you that 3D depth to it. The Edmonton Oilers are the team that I have next here, and in my opinion, this is probably one of the nicer like additions with these new logos here. It's the one that I think works the best and also does a decent amount as well. I saw someone describe this as like basically oil dripping down the side of the letters there and then collecting at the bottom, which I think is a very good description. I think that's probably what they were going for, and I think it works really, really well with this logo and with the team itself, obviously, because they are the Oilers. But yeah, I like it a lot. lot. I think it gives a lot of dimension to this logo that, in my opinion, I think is just fine, but with this new addition to the logo here, I think it looks pretty good. Next up is the Minnesota Wild. This is another one that I think looks really, really nice. I already like the Minnesota Wild logo, but with this new addition here, basically adding like a little bit of a shadow to the trees and everything like that, I think it improves the logo so much more, which, like I said, I already really, really like that Minnesota Wild logo, so I was surprised that they could even improve on it, and I just think it looks gorgeous. This might be one of the only logos that actually like push me into buying one of the new prime green jerseys specifically for that logo, and I do already have the Minnesota Wild home jersey, so I might buy it again just specifically for this logo because I do think it looks that much better and I do really like it a lot. Now moving on to the New York Rangers, and they basically just try and add a little bit more depth to those letterings there, but I'll be honest with you guys, I actually think I prefer the older version just a little bit better. I think with the new way, it almost feels like a little bit too busy with it trying to give that 3D effect, so I think I like the older version just slightly more, although I'll be honest, I'm really not a fan of wordmark jerseys at all. Even though I don't mind like the Rangers jersey in general, I would much prefer if they did have a logo on the front, but it is the Rangers. That is kind of a classic look for them, and it's probably one of the better wordmark jerseys or better wordmark logos out there. In my opinion, I still would like them to change to like the Lady Liberty logo. I think that would look really nice, but anyways, that aside, that little rant aside, I do think I still prefer the older version of this logo. Now moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and with the Penguins here, I kind of have like conflicting reports of exactly what they actually changed, because on sportslogos.com, they're saying that they only changed the glove part of the logo, but there was also a picture on Reddit that it looks like it's from one of like the players' photo shoots, and with that jersey there, the gloves are also raised, but so are the beak and the eyes as well. So I'm not quite sure which one is actually true, or if just like the Made in Canada versions are going to have the raised eye and beak, and like the Indo ones or the retail versions will just have the raised glove. Not quite too sure. If the gloves, the eyes, and the beak are all raised on the retail version of these jerseys here, it might push me into buying a new jersey for them, although I'll probably go with the away version and not the home since I already have the home version. So I'm hoping that all the stuff is raised on those retail versions because I think it looks really, really nice. I do especially like the gloves being raised because it actually looks like someone's wearing gloves or the penguin is wearing gloves. So I do really like that aspect a lot. I do think the new version of this logo looks really nice. Now moving on to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and with the Maple Leafs logo, they didn't really do a ton because you can't really do a ton with that logo in terms of like raising things up. They basically just raised everything that they possibly could, raising the letters and the veins of the leaf itself, which I do think it looks nice. And we're going to get a new version of this jersey probably, but just because I'm a Leafs fan and I kind of want to collect like every single version of the Leafs jerseys. But that being said, if I was a fan of any other team, I definitely wouldn't. It's not really that big of a change. Speaking of not that big of a change, the only thing the Vancouver Canucks did was one piece of the ice that the Orca is breaking out of that has been raised, and it's like a very, very small piece. In my opinion, this is probably one of the weirdest ones of all of the changes with all of the logos here. I don't really know why. I feel like maybe if you're going to raise one of the pieces of the ice that's breaking out, I feel like you should just raise all of the ice in my opinion, but maybe that wouldn't look too good. Maybe they tried that and it looked really bad. I'm not too sure, but either way, I do kind of find this one a little bit strange. All right, on to the final two here with the Washington Capitals. This one will be quick because all they did was basically just add a little bit of a 3D effect to that stick there. I think it looks nice. It looks fine. Not really that big of a change. I don't have a lot to say about it. And lastly, with the Winnipeg Jets, all they did was just basically change the white part of their logo there. It looks like they changed the material of that white part as well. Not 100% sure on that, but at least to me, looking at different pictures, to me, it looks like it's a little bit different, but they did also outline it a little bit there and raise it up a little bit. So once again, kind of the same as a lot of other teams did, but I still think it looks nice. And one last thing before we close it out here, they are also changing the shoulder patches for the upcoming NHL season as well. In previous seasons, I don't even know how to like fully describe it, but it was a little bit more of like a soft kind of like bendy material, which was nice for like wearing around and everything like that. But in terms of quality, it wasn't really that great. Now they're actually upgrading to an embroidered style shoulder patch, which I am very, very happy about. Yes, it's not really that comfortable to wear, or at least it's less comfortable to wear for sure, I would say, but it just looks a lot nicer. Once again, the quality is way, way better with those embroidered shoulder patches. But overall, I am very, very happy with these new prime green jerseys from Adidas. Once again, the shoulder patches are going to look a lot nicer, and even just like the minimal changes on the logo itself. Even though some of them are like barely noticeable at all, I still like that. I still think it's pretty cool. So I'm very, very happy with this. I'm really excited to see these new jerseys and maybe even purchase some as well and kind of try and compare the two. Maybe I'll do that at some point. I'm not really too sure. We'll have to see. But anyways, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter at the Jersey Zone YT on Instagram and at the Jersey Zone on Twitter. Links are in the description down below. But like I said, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.